Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Dear students, welcome back to biology online classes. So, we'll continue with the NEET session under the chapter Animal Kingdom. Take out your worksheet. In the previous session, we have discussed about 38 questions. So, we will move to question number 39. Which group of animals belongs to the same phylum? ಯಾವ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದೆ ಆನಿಮಲ್ಸು ಒಂದೇ ಫೈಲಮಿಗೆ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಎ ಪ್ರೌನ್, ಸ್ಕಾರ್ಪಿಯಾನ್, ಲೋಕಸ್ಟಾ. ಪ್ರೌನ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಯಾವ ಫೈಲಮಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ? ಫೈಲಮ್ ಆರ್ಥ್ರೋಪೋಡಾ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕ್ರಸ್ಟೇಷಿಯಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಕಾರ್ಪಿಯಾನ್, ಸ್ಕಾರ್ಪಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಬರೋದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅರೆಕ್ನಿಡಾ, ಫೈಲಮ್ ಆರ್ಥ್ರೋಪೋಡಾ. ಲೋಕಸ್ಟಾ ಕೂಡ ಬರೋದು ಫೈಲಮ್ ಆರ್ಥ್ರೋಪೋಡಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಮೂರು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ನ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಗಳು ಒಂದೇ ಫೈಲಮಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ದ ಫೈಲಮ್ ಆರ್ಥ್ರೋಪೋಡಾ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕುಡ್ ಬಿ ರೈಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ. ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್, ಸೀ ಅನಿಮೋನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಫಿಶ್. ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್ belongs to phylum Porifera. Sea anemone belongs to phylum Coelenterata or Cnidaria. Then comes the starfish. Starfish belongs to the phylum Echinodermata. All three animals belongs to different phyla. So it cannot be the option. See the option C. Malarial parasite. Malarial parasite is a plasmodium. It belongs to altogether different kingdom. Alva? It belongs to kingdom Protista, okay, under sporozoans, correct? So that is different. Amoeba belongs to amoeboid protozoans, whereas mosquito, it's an insect, belongs to class Insecta under phylum Arthropoda. All animals belongs to different categories. Option D, earthworm belongs to phylum Annelida. Scientific name of the earthworm is Ferritima. Pinworm belongs to the different phylum, it is Aschelminthus. Tapeworm belongs to Platyhelminthes. All belongs to different phyla. So that also cannot be the right option. So for question number 39, of course, the right answer is option A. We'll move to question number 40. Match the name of the animal in the column 1 with one characteristics in the column 2 and the phylum or the class in the column 3 to which it belongs to. So there are three columns, column 1, column 2 and column 3. In the column 1 they have mentioned the different animals, that is Lemulus, then Adamsia, Petromyzon, Ichthyophis. In the column 2, they have given their characteristics. Body covered by chitinous exoskeleton, radially symmetrical, ectoparasite and terrestrial. Whereas in the third column, they have mentioned the different phyla or the class like Pisces, Porifera, Cyclostomata and Reptilia. Let's match. Lemulus is the king crab, belongs to phylum Arthropoda, and body is covered by chitinous exoskeleton, that is correct, but it is given class Pisces, it is wrong. A cannot be the option. See the B option. Adamsia they have given, it is sea anemone, it belongs to phylum Coelenterata or Cnidaria. Radially symmetrical, true, they are radially symmetrical animals, but not phylum Porifera, phylum Coelenterata. See the option C. Petromyzon or the lamprey, which is an ectoparasite, means which lives outside the body of a living host, and they belongs to class Cyclostomata, division Agnatha and class Cyclostomata under subphylum Vertebrata. So that is the right option. That is option C. Let's see option D. Ichthyophis. It belongs to class Amphibia, limbless amphibia. That is apoda. A means without. Poda means appendages. ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ appendages ಇಲ್ಲ. So this Ichthyophis belongs to limbless amphibians. They are terrestrial, of course, but they are not reptilia. Belongs to class Reptilia. They belongs to class Amphibia. ಉಭಯವಾಸಿಗಳು, ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲೂ ವಾಸಿಸಬಲ್ಲವು ಮತ್ತು ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ ವಾಸಿಸಬಲ್ಲವು, ಜಲವಾಸಿಗಳು, ಭೂವಾಸಿಗಳು. We'll move to the next question. Question number 41. One of the representative of phylum Arthropoda is. ಫೈಲಮ್ ಆರ್ಥ್ರೋಪೋಡಾಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಳಗಿನ ನಾಲ್ಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ? ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಫೈಲಮ್ ಆರ್ಥ್ರೋಪೋಡಾ? ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ. The options are A. puffer fish, B. flying fish, C. cuttlefish, D. silver fish. ಈ ನಾಲ್ಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು? ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಫಿಶ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು, ತುಂಬ ಸಲ ಬಂತಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟಾ, ಫೈಲಮ್ ಆರ್ಥ್ರೋಪೋಡಾ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಕಟಲ್ ಫಿಶ್, ಬೊಂಡಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೆಪಿಯಾ, ಓಕೆ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಶೆಲ್ ಬಾಡಿಯ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋದು ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ಇದು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಫೈಲಮ್ ಮೊಲಸ್ಕಾ. ಫ್ಲೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಿಶ್ is an exocetus, belongs to class Osteichthyes, ಅಂದರೆ ಬೋನಿ ಫಿಶಸ್. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ದೆನ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ puffer fish. Puffer fish belongs to class Chondrichthyes, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇದು ಮರೈನ್ ಫಿಶ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯ್ಸನಸ್ creature on the planet. Second most poisonous creature on the planet, and the first one is the golden poison frog. First ಯಾವುದು? golden poison frog ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ endemic to Pacific coast of Colombia. ಓಕೆ, the endemic ಅಂದರೆ particular restricted to that geographical area, that is coast of Colombia. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಇಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟ್ಸ್ ಪಾಯ್ಸನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವುದು? ಈ ಫ್ರಾಗಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾವ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ನಾನು? ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಪಾಯ್ಸನ್ ಫ್ರಾಗ್. ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಪಾಯ್ಸನ್ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ ಅಂತ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಟು ಪ್ಯಾಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಕೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೊಲಂಬಿಯಾ. ಸೊ ಅದರ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯ್ಸನಸ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಪಾಯ್ಸನ್. ತುಂಬ ವಿಷಕಾರಿ. ನಂಬರ್ 1. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಪಫರ್ ಫಿಶ್, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪಾಯ್ಸನಸ್ ಸ್ಪೈಕ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ. ಮುಳ್ಳಿನಾಗಿದೆ ಆ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಅವುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾಯ್ಸನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯ್ಸನಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಚರ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್. Move to next question. So one of the representative of phylum Arthropoda is option D, of course, that is the silver fish. We'll move to question number 42. Which one of the following animals is correctly matched with its one characteristic and the taxon? ಅದರದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿಗೆ ಅದು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. So 3 columns are given. On first column animal, second column they have characteristic, and third column they have the taxon, category. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ, ಡಕ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟಿಪಸ್, ಬಿ ಮಿಲ್ಲಿಪಿಡ್, ಸಿ ಅನಿಮೋನ್, ಡಿ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಫಿಶ್. ಯಾವುದು? ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಫಿಶ್ ತುಂಬ ಫೇವ್ರೆಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನರ್ಸ್, ತುಂಬ ಸಲ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಓವಿಪೇರಸ್, ವೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನರ್ವ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್, ಟ್ರಿಪ್ಲೋಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್, ಪೆಕ್ಟೋರಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪೆಲ್ವಿಕ್ ಫಿನ್ಸ್. ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಾನ್ ಮೆಮೇಲಿಯಾ, Arachnida, Nidaria, Chordata. Duck-billed platypus, Ornithorhynchus and the scientific name. They lay eggs, so they are oviparous, and of course they belongs to class Mammalia. This is the right option. Let's see the option B, millipedes. Millipedes are invertebrates. They are ventral nerve cord, but they are not belongs to Arachnida. They belongs to class Myriapoda. In the earlier class I have written Myriapoda. So phylum Arthropoda has been divided into 4 major classes: class Insecta, class Myriapoda, class Arachnida, and class Crustacea. Arachnida includes spiders and scorpions. Crustaceans includes crabs and lobsters, prawns. Millipedes and centipedes belongs to Myriapoda, and class Insecta includes the major class of Arthropoda, which includes insects. Next, see option C, sea anemone, Adamsia, belongs to phylum Coelenterata. They are not triploblastic, they are diploblastic. Body made up of only 2 germ layers, outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. Middle mesoderm is absent. They are not cnidarians. They belongs to cnidaria or Coelenterata. Next, coming to option D, silverfish, pectoral and pelvic fins. What? They are not completed it. It is not having any pectoral or pelvic fin because it is not a fish. It's an insect, belongs to class Insecta, and it is not a chordata, it is non-chordata. Got my point? We'll move to the next question, question number 43. Which one of the following groups of animals reproduces only by sexual means? ಬರೇ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಮೀನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಯಾವುದದು? ಎ ಟಿನೋಫೋರಾ, ಬಿ ನಿಡೇರಿಯಾ, ಸಿ ಪೋರಿಫೆರಾ, ಡಿ ಪ್ರೊಟೋಸೋವಾ. ಎ ಟಿನೋಫೋರಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೂಮ್ ಜೆಲ್ಲೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸಿ ವಾಲ್ನಟ್ಸ್, ಅಥವಾ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್. ನಿಡೇರಿಯಾ, ಸಿಲೆಂಟಿರೇಟಾ ಅಥವಾ ಸಿಲೆಂಟಿರೇಟದಲ್ಲಿ they reproduce both by sexual and asexual means. Asexual reproduction is by polyp, they produce medusa. Once again the medusa reproduce sexually to produce asexual polyp. So there is an alternation of generation in their life cycle, which is also called as metagenesis. Porifera, they both have asexual as well as sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction takes place by formation of buds, by fragmentation, and sexual reproduction by formation of gametes. And protozoans, of course, protozoans also they reproduces by asexual means. For example, amoeba by fragmentation and by sporulation, spore formation. Asexual mode is there. Then of course sexual reproduction. Can you see sexual reproduction in protozoa? Sexual reproduction can you see in protozoa? They are mainly reproduced by asexual means. So sexual reproduction only it is seen in case of Ctenophora. Ctenophora the sexual reproduction ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರ್ತದೆ. So the right option is the option A. Is that clear? Shall we move to the next question? Question number 44. Sharks and dogfishes differ from skates and rays. Sharks ಮತ್ತು dogfishes. Great white shark ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಿರಲ್ಲ, great white shark which belongs to Chondrichthyes, correct? Belongs to Chondrichthyes. So another one is Scoliodon, that is the dogfish. The dogfish also belongs to Chondrichthyes. So both are examples for fishes. ಯಾವ fishes? Cartilaginous fishes. How they differ from rays and ಸ್ಕೇಟ್ಸ್. ರೇಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಕೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಇವುಗಳೆರಡು ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿವೆ. ಯಾವುದು? ಶಾರ್ಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಕಾಲಿಯೋಡಾನ್. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. 4 ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. ನೀಟ್ 2013 appear the question. A. Their pectoral fins distinctly marked off from cylindrical bodies. B. Gill slits are ventrally placed. C. Head and trunk are widened considerably. D. Distinct demarcation between the body and the tail. ಯಾವುದು 4ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಬಲ್ ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಳಿ. ಶಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡಾಗ್ ಫಿಶಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ರೇಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕೇಟ್ಸ್. Now first you should know what are rays and skates. Let me write the characteristic features. Tails of many skates, note down, tails of many skates are shorter and thicker than of rays. Are shorter and thicker than of rays. Then skates are oviparous. Skates are oviparous means they lay the eggs. So rays are viviparous. Rays are viviparous. ಅಂದರೆ directly giving birth to the young ones. Skates dorsal fin is prominent. In skates, dorsal fin is prominent. Then in rays, dorsal fin is reduced or absent. In rays, dorsal fin is absent or reduced. Then comes the skates are smaller and rays are larger. Skates are smaller and rays are larger. Skates have small teeth. Skates have small teeth. Then rays plate-like teeth for crushing. Rays plate-like teeth for crushing. For crushing. Most rays are kite-shaped. Most rays are kite-shaped with the whip-like tails. ಚಾಟಿಯಾಗಿರುವಂಥ with whip-like tails, ಚಾಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಕಾರದ ಬಾಲ. Possessing 1 or 2 stinging spines. Possessing 1 or 2 ಸ್ಟಿಂಗಿಂಗ್ ಕುಟುಕುವಂಥ ಸ್ಟಿಂಗಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಪೈನ್ಸ್. Skates have fleshier tails. Skates have fleshier, ತುಂಬ ಮಾಂಸ ಇರುವಂಥ fleshier tails and lack spines. ಮತ್ತು ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೈನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ and lack spines. So these are the some distinguishing features, differences between rays and skates. So in skates, tails may of many skates are shorter and thicker when compared to the rays. Skates are oviparous and rays are viviparous. In the skates, the dorsal fin ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ, ಎದ್ದು ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ರೇಸ್ ದ ಡಾರ್ಸಲ್ ಫಿನ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಬ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. ಸ್ಕೇಟ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ದ ಸ್ಕೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ರೇಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲಾರ್ಜರ್. Skates have small teeth, but the rays have plate-like teeth for crushing of the food. Most of the rays are of kite-shaped with the whip-like tail and possessing one or two stinging spines on tail-nalli. But skates have tumba fleshier, ಮಾಂಸ ಇರುವಂಥ tails, and they lack spines. Now you understand what is the difference between skates and rays. Now we will move back to the question. The question asks, sharks and dogfishes differ from skates and rays by. The options are A. Their pectoral fins distinctly marked off from cylindrical bodies. Gill slits are ventrally placed. Head and trunk are widened considerably. Distinct demarcation between body and tail. So, what is the right option? See all these features and tell me what is the right option for this. Sharks and dogfishes differ from skates and rays by their pectoral fins distinctly marked off from cylindrical bodies. How the body of the skates and rays, whether they are cylindrical or whether they are broad and flat. If you see the body of the skates and rays, their body is comparatively broader and it is flat. Okay? But these sharks, dogfishes, they have cylindrical body. That itself says these are different in the option A. Gill slits are ventrally placed. Correct, no? Gill slits are ventrally placed. You see where the gill slits are present in case of the rays and skates, they are placed ventrally. So, see the option 3, head and trunk are widened considerably. Head and trunks are widened considerably. Then, distinct demarcation between the body and tail. Distinct demarcation between body and tail. So, now tell me what is the right option, what is the correct option for this. So, sharks and dogfishes, they have cylindrical body, while skates and rays, both of their pectoral fins, they are fused. It gives a wing-like appearance and are not distinct from the body. They are not distinct from the body. So, their pectoral fins are distinctly marked off from the cylindrical bodies they have given. That is absolutely incorrect. Sharks and dogfishes differ from skates and rays, where the pectoral fins are fused and it gives the appearance of wing-like. So, the body doesn't matter. In case of sharks and dogfishes, the body may be cylindrical. There are rays and skates where also the body may be cylindrical, but here understand the main difference is their pectoral fins are fused and they give the appearance like a wing. It is not distinctly marked off from the body. You cannot make distinctly, oh, it is a pectoral fin anta race ಮತ್ತೆ ರೇಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಕೇಟ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದರೆ ಶಾರ್ಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಡಾಗ್ ಫಿಶಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪೆಕ್ಟೋರಲ್ ಫಿನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ, ಸಿಲಿಂಡ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಯುವರ್ sharks and dogfishes and skates and rays. Second option, gill slits are ventrally placed. Those are all same. Head and trunk are widened considerably. Then distinct demarcation between body and tail. That is also or common features. So the right option is the option A. Coming to question number 45, the characteristic of class Reptilia are A. Body covered with dry and cornified skin. Yes, body is covered by dry and cornified skin. ಅಂದರೆ keratinized skin. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಥಿಯರಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲೇ. Keratin is a type of structural protein. So the body is dry and with cornified skin. Scales are present over the body which are on the epidermal region, epidermis, outermost layer of the skin, and they do not have external ears. Pinna external ear illa, but they have only the eardrum which is called as the tympanum. It's called as tympanum. So that could be a right option. Let's see what it tells the second option. B. Body covered with the moist skin which is devoid of scales. Body is covered with ತುಂಬ ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ಇರುವಂಥ ಸ್ಕಿನ್. Scales ಇಲ್ಲ. The ear is represented by tympanum. Alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts open into the common chamber called as cloaca. These are all characteristic feature of amphibians. Amphibian ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಬಾಡಿ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಮಾಯಿಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್, ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ಇರುವಂಥ ಸ್ಕಿನ್, ಡ್ರೈ ಇಲ್ಲ. The ear is represented by tympanum, eardrum, external ear, ear pinna is absent. Alimentary canal, gut, urinary and reproductive tracts. Okay, they open into the common chamber that is called as cloaca. ಯೂರಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಫೀಕಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟ್ಸ್, ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮನ್ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ನಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಬಾಡಿದು. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಕ್ಲೋಕಾ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಕ್ಲೋಕಲ್ ಎಪರ್ಚರ್. ಸೊ cloaca which leads to a slit like hole, that is aperture, that is called as cloacal aperture, from which the digestive waste, that is feces, then urinary waste, that is urine, nitrogenous waste, that is urine, and the sex cells which are called as gametes, everything will come out from this single opening which is called as cloacal aperture, and this cloaca will open into cloacal aperture. That is for amphibians. Next, freshwater animals with bony endoskeleton. Freshwater ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಬೋನಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟನ್ ಇದೆ. And air bladder is present to regulate the buoyancy. These are all characteristic feature of class Osteichthyes or bony fishes. Option D, marine animals with the cartilaginous endoskeleton. C ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟನ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಲೇಜ್, ಬಾಡಿ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಪ್ಲೆಕಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ಸ್. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಲೆಕಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ಸ್. These are all important features of class Chondrichthyes or cartilaginous fishes. So the correct option for reptilia is option A for question number 45, dear students. Let's move to question number 46. The adult animal in the phylum is radially symmetrical, but its larva exhibits bilateral symmetry. Adultsನಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಡಿಯಲ್ ಸಿಮೆಟ್ರಿ ಇದೆ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೈಪಿನ್ನೇರಿಯಾ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೈಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲಿ ಸಿಮೆಟ್ರಿಕಲ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಸ್ Option A, arthropod. Option B, protozoa. Option C, echinodermata. And option D, coelenterata. So the right option is option C, echinodermata. Move to the next question. Question number 47. Column 1 contains larval stages and column 2 contains the group to which it belongs. Match them correctly and choose the right answer. ಎ ಕಾಲಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಿ ಕಾಲಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಯಾವ ಗ್ರೂಪಿಗೆ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನೆರಡನ್ನು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ, ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ. ಪ್ಲೆನ್ಯುಲಾ, ಟಾರ್ನೇರಿಯಾ, ಟ್ರೊಕೋಫೋರ್, ಬೈಪಿನ್ನೇರಿಯಾ, ಗ್ಲಾಚಿಡಿಯಮ್ ಅದು ಕಾಲಮ್ 1ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕಾಲಮ್ 2ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಫೈಲ, ಅನ್ನಿಲಿಡಾ, ಮೊಲಸ್ಕಾ, ಆರ್ಥ್ರೋಪೋಡಾ, ಕಾರ್ಡೇಟಾ, ಎಕೈನೋಡರ್ಮಟಾ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿಲೆಂಟಿರೇಟಾ. ಈಗ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ. This is appeared for CET, Common Entrance Test, Karnataka, KCET, 2011. Earlier, before the new NEET was compulsorily introduced, there were only common CET through which one can select the medical seats within the state. For example, Karnataka state. So, state-wise test was there. So, during that time, this question was asked. Okay. Before 2017. From the 2017 they have made NEET compulsory for all. 2017 to 2018 they made compulsory. That means whoever the students want to get into medical seat, they have to compete by all India exams, that is NEET only. Even the seat for the state board can distribute the seat depending upon the NEET ranking only. So before that there was an old syllabus. And after that, when the NEET made compulsory, they followed the NCERT syllabus only. So, this was the old syllabus. So, but we have to study. Okay, we have to know some extra information. Okay, Annelida. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಪ್ಲೆನ್ಯುಲಾ ಇಸ್ ದ ಜೆಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಶ್, ಕೋರಲ್ಸ್, ಸಿ ಅನಿಮೋನ್, ಅದರದೆಲ್ಲ ಲಾರ್ವಾ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಪ್ಲೆನ್ಯುಲಾ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೆನ್ಯುಲಾ belongs to Coelenterata because jellyfish, corals, sea anemone all belongs to Coelenterata. So A is U. ನೋಡಿ ಬೇರೆ ಆಪ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ, ಎ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಯು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರ್ 3 ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಎಸ್, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಓಕೆ ಸಿ ವೇಟ್, ಮೊಲಸ್ಕಾ. Okay, Tornaria is the larva of Hemichordata. Example, Belanoglossus, acorn one, ಅದರ ಲಾರ್ವನ್ನು ಟಾರ್ನೇರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಎಸ್, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ವೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಆರ್ಥ್ರೋಪೋಡಾ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೊಕೋಫೋರ್ is the larva of marine annelid, that is Nereis ಇದು ಟ್ರೊಕೋಫೋರ್ ಲಾರ್ವಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಸಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಸಿಗೆ ಪಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅನ್ನಿಲಿಡಾ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಡೇಟಾ, ಬೈಪಿನ್ನೇರಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಆಫ್ ಎಕೈನೋಡರ್ಮೆಟಾ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಫಿಶ್ ಅದರ ಲಾರ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಡಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟಿ. ದೆನ್ ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಮ್ it is matches with the Q, mollusca. Freshwater mussel, a bivalve, ಅದರದ್ದು ಲಾರ್ವಾ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಮ್. ಬಿ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎಸ್. ಟಾರ್ನೇರಿಯಾ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಆಫ್ ಕಾರ್ಡೇಟಾ. ಅಂದರೆ ಹೆಮಿಕಾರ್ಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದೇ ವರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡೇಟಾ. Then they have removed it from chordata and they have put them into the separate phyla, that is phyla Hemichordata. Got it? So earlier they are considered as a subphylum under phylum Chordata, but they are now placed as a separate phylum under non-chordata. It is given in the NCERT page number 54. Right now? Okay. So ಪ್ಲೆನ್ಯುಲಾ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲೆನ್ಯುಲಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಆಫ್ ಜೆಲ್ಲಿಫಿಶ್, ಕೋರಲ್ಸ್, ಸಿ ಅನಿಮೋನ್. ಜೆಲ್ಲಿಫಿಶ್, ಕೋರಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿ ಅನಿಮೋನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೋದು ಟೊರ್ನೇರಿಯಾ. ಟೊರ್ನೇರಿಯಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಆಫ್ ಹೆಮಿಕಾರ್ಡೇಟಾ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಕಾರ್ನ್ ವರ್ಮ್. ಹೆಮಿಕಾರ್ಡೇಟಾ, ಸಫೈಲಮ್ ಹೆಮಿಕಾರ್ಡೇಟಾ, ಫೈಲಮ್ ಹೆಮಿಕಾರ್ಡೇಟಾ. That is example is a corn worm. Next ಯಾವುದು? ಟ್ರೋಕೋಫೋರ್. ಟ್ರೋಕೋಫೋರ್ is the larva of marine annelid, that is Nereis. Next comes Bipinnaria. Bipinnaria is the larva of the starfish. The scientific name is Asterias, which is an example for phylum Echinodermata. Next comes Glochidium. Glochidium, it is the larva of freshwater mussel. Which is a bivalve, ಅಂದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎರಡು ಶೆಲ್ ಇದೆ, which belongs to phylum Mollusca. ಬೈ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು? ಎರಡು. ಹೀಗೆ ಎರಡು ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಇದರ ಒಳಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಎರಡು ಚಿಪ್, ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಚಿಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಈಗ ಎರಡು ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ವೆಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಶೆಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್. ಸೊ ರೈಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ question, we will move to the next question number 48. That is, so the option for question number 47 is A. Question number 48, pick the mammal with the true placenta. Pick the mammal with the true placenta. So let me explain what is a placenta. So placenta is nothing but a biological connection between the mother and the fetus for the exchange of gases as well as for exchanging the nutrients. ಪ್ಲಾಸೆಂಟಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮದರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಭ್ರೂಣಕ್ಕೆ, ಫೀಟಸ್ಸಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಮದರ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಟು ದ ಫೀಟಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅವೇ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಫೀಟಸ್, ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ the mother, she will supply the nutrients to the fetus and take away the waste material from the fetus. So this placenta is a biological connection. So animals which pick the mammals class Mammalia belongs to, with the true placenta belongs to ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ? Option A kangaroo, option B echidna, option C platypus, option D mongoose. Now you have to remember the class Mammalia has been divided into 3 subclasses based on their reproductive techniques. Monotremes, marsupials and placentals. Monotremes, note down. Marsupials and placentals. These are the 3 subclasses of class Mammalia. So ಮನುಷ್ಯನಲ್ಲಿ human beings, we all belongs to which subclass? Placentals. So placental connection to which other animals like cat, dogs belongs to. So humans, cats, dogs, chimpanzee, gorilla, monkeys, apes all belongs to placentals. So they have true placenta. Okay. So mongoose. So mongoose also belongs to this particular placental subclass of the mammals. Mongoose, correct. Double O S E, mongoose. M-O. Now what are these marsupials? Marsupials are nothing but pouched mammals. Can you give an example? To protect the young ones, they have extension of the skin in which they protect their young ones. Examples, kangaroo, the national animal of Australia, kangaroo. Similarly, monotremes means egg-laying animals, egg-laying mammals, ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇಡುವಂಥ mammals. Can you give examples for this? Yeah, platypus, ornithorhynchus ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಮತ್ತು ಎಕಿಡ್ನಾ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್, spiny anteaters, echidna, spiny anteaters. These are all examples for placental mammals, monotremes or egg-laying. So class Mammalia has been divided into 3 subclasses: subclass 1 monotremes, subclass 2 marsupials, and subclass 3 placentals. So let me erase the board, students, then we will continue. So, shall we move to the next question? That is question number 48. Okay, question number 48. Question number 49. Okay. Animals which possess cledoic eggs exhibit. Animals which possess cledoic eggs exhibit A. External fertilization and internal development. B. Internal fertilization and internal development. C. Internal fertilization and external development. And D. External fertilization and external development. First we should know what is the meaning of cledoic eggs. Reptiles and birds, they lay cledoic eggs. Reptiles and birds, they lay cledoic eggs. Andre land eggs, they lay the eggs on the land. Okay. And clistos means closed. It is derived from the Latin word clistos, means closed. So they are enclosed in a what? Protective shell. So enclosed in a protective shell. Enclosed in a protective shell. ಶೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟರೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಗ್ಸ್ ಡ್ರೈ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಶೆಲ್. ಸಚ್ ಎಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ cledoic eggs. ಸೊ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆದರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಆಗೋದು, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ದೇ ಲೇ cledoic eggs. ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫೀಮೇಲ್. ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್, ಬಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಫರ್ದರ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆ. ಎಗ್ಗನ್ನು ಇಡ್ತದೆ, ಎಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿ ಮರಿ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರೋದು ಹೊರಗಿನಿಂದ. ಸೊ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಸಚ್ ಎಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ cladoid eggs. Example, the option is option C, that is the right answer. Now we'll move to the last question, that is question number 50 of this worksheet. In some chordates, the notochord is modified as the vertebral column. Such animals are called as vertebrates. Which of the following statements make sense? Some chordates, notochord is modified as vertebral column, subphylum vertebrataದಲ್ಲಿ. Such animals are called as vertebrates. So which of the following statements make some sense? A, all chordates are vertebrates but all vertebrates are not chordates. B, all vertebrates are chordates and all chordates are vertebrates. C, all vertebrates are chordates but all chordates are not vertebrates. D, chordates are not vertebrates and vertebrates are not chordates. Appeared for CET 2011. All the vertebrates are chordates but all chordates are not vertebrates. That is the right option, option C. I told in the theory class itself. Like all boys are human beings but all human beings are not boys, because there are some girls also, correct? Like all the vertebrates, they belongs to phylum Chordata, because vertebrata is the subphylum of phylum Chordata. But all the chordates are not vertebrates, because there are some urochordates also, subphylum belongs to subphylum urochordates also, and some belongs to subphylum vertebrate cephalochordata also. So that is the right option, option C. Now I told about a kangaroo. What are the young ones which are born and which the mother keeps in her pouch? That is, what are those young ones are called as? They are called as joy, or they are called as young ones of kangaroo. Just for extra information, young ones of kangaroo are called as joy. So with this we have finished the first worksheet for about 50 questions. We'll move to another worksheet with some more interesting questions. So under animal kingdom, let me start with the general accounts and non-chordates. Okay, the first question, listen. Which of the following statement is not true? A, 1. All members of the kingdom Animalia are multicellular. 2. Nature of the coelom is used as one of the basis of animal classification. 3. There is no need of classification now, as over 1 million species of animals have been described till now. 4. The arrangement of cells in the body is one of the classifying feature of the animals. Which is not true. All members of the kingdom Animalia are multicellular. Of course, you have studied biological classification. All the kingdom, all the members, kingdom Animalia, they belong multicellular. You have studied in animal kingdom chapter. So first statement is true. Nature of coelom is used as one of the basis of classification. Yes, whether they are coelomates or acoelomates or pseudocoelomates. 3. There is no need of classification, as now over millions species. Oh, how you tell? In kingdom Animalia, till now over 1 million species have been described, and Animalia is the largest of the animal kingdom, with over, you can see, 1.2 millions of members. But due to such large number of species, the need for classification becomes more important. Okay, so that does not support supporting statement, so it is incorrect or not true statement. See the fourth one, the arrangement of cells in the body is one of the classifying feature of the animals. Yes, the arrangement of cells in the body is one of the classifying features of the animals. Depending upon, we can say whether what kind of organization, whether it is cellular level or tissue level, organ level or organ system level of classification. So only the third option is incorrect. So I have finished the first question in the second worksheet. Into the second question, the only incorrectly matched pair is Out of 4, 3 are correct, only one is incorrect. Which one? The incorrect. Identify. Phylum and level of organization they are given. Porifera, Nidaria, Annelida, Mollusca. Cellular, tissue, organ system. ಯಾವುದು? Porifera cellular level correct. Nidaria tissue level ಅದು correct. Annelida organ level ಅಲ್ಲ, organ system level. ಮತ್ತೆ Mollusca of course organ system level. So 3 is the incorrect option. Question number 3. A complete digestive system has single opening that serves as mouth as well as anus. 2 openings, one as mouth and the other as anus. That is the complete digestive system. Incomplete digestive system nalli ingestion as well as ejection takes place from the single opening. So they have single opening. Option 3, single opening that acts as a mouth only. No, that acts like mouth and anus both. So first is incorrect, third is incorrect. Fourth one, 2 opening both act as both act as mouth as well as anus. ಎರಡು ಓಪನಿಂಗ್, ಎರಡೂ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಮೌತ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಏನಸ್, ಅದಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 2. Okay. Now question number 4. In closed circulatory system, 1. The cells and tissues are directly bathed in the blood pumped out by the heart. B. 2. Arteries and veins are lacking. 3. The capillaries are largest blood vessels and closed at their ends. 4. Blood circulates through a series of vessels of varying diameters. What is the right answer? Closed circulatory system nalli blood circulates through a series of vessels, arteries, veins, capillaries of different diameters. Adu correct answer, option 4. Option 1 ಯಾಕೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ? The cells and tissues are directly bathed into the blood pumped out by the heart. Then it is not closed, it becomes open circulatory system. So option 1 ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡಲ್ಲಿ arteries and veins are lacking ಅಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಲ್ಲಿ arteries ಮತ್ತು veins ಇದೆ. ಥರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ the capillaries are the largest blood vessels ಅಲ್ಲ. and closed at their ends ಅಲ್ಲ. ಏನು? Closed circulatory system is observed in case of annelids, then molluskನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಓಪನ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಆದರೆ there is one exception that is called as cephalopod. I'll tell you about that later. Closed circulatory system, the capillaries are the largest blood vessels ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲ, capillaries are the thinnest blood vessels. Okay. So which are the largest blood vessels? Arteries are the largest blood vessels. Okay. So that is once again the incorrect option. Option 3 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, the capillaries are the largest, ಅದು incorrect. Blood circulates through a series of vessels of varying diameter. That is the correct option. That is answer 4. So open circulatory system you can find in case of ಫೈಲಮ್ ಆರ್ಥ್ರೋಪೊಡಾ, ಮೊಲಸ್ಕಾ, ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವುದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಹೆಮಿಕಾರ್ಡೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಮೊಲಸ್ಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಆಪ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೆಫ್ಯಾಲೋಪೋಡಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೆಫ್ಯಾಲೋಪೋಡಾ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ ಮೊಲಸ್ಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾವುದು? ಸೆಫ್ಯಾಲೋಪೋಡಾ ಅಂತ ಮೊಲಸ್ಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಫ್ಯಾಲೋಪೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸೆಫ್ಯಾಲೋಪೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಓಪನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಹೆಡ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಎ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಟೆಂಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಮಾಡಿಫೈಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಫುಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸೆಫ್ಯಾಲೋಪೋಡ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಏನು? ಸೆಫ್ಯಾಲೋಪೋಡ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಏನು? ಇಟ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಫುಟ್. ಏನು? ಹೆಡ್ ಫುಟ್ ಆರ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಫೀಟ್. ಫೀಟ್ ಬೆಟರ್, ಫುಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೆಡ್ ಫೀಟ್. what is the meaning? They have prominent head and a set of arms or tentacles modified from foot. ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಟೆಂಟಾಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಫುಟ್ನಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಮಾಡಿಫೈಡ್ ಆರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟೆಂಟಾಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಹೆಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಿಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಸೆಫಾಲೋಪೋಡ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಫೈಲಮ್ ಮೊಲಸ್ಕ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಆಲ್ದೋ ಇನ್ ಅದರ್ ಮೊಲಸ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಓಪನ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸೆಫಾಲೋಪೋಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಆನ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್. ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್, ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. So you can see the closed circulatory system in echinoderms, then cephalopod mollusks, then hemichordates, correct? Then also in case of chordates, annelids nalli kuda ide. Annelids cephalopod mollusk alli matte chordates alli ide, correct? ಎಕೆನೋಡರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವಾಟರ್ ವ್ಯಾಸ್ಕ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಎಕೆನೋಡರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟಾ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವಾಟರ್ ವ್ಯಾಸ್ಕ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಫೀಚರ್. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಎಕೆನೋಡರ್ಮ್ಸ್ have water vascular system. You can see in page number 54 of NCERT. ಸೊ ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ವೆಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಪಂಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ, ಆರ್ಟರೀಸ್, ವೇನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ವ್ಯಾಸ್ಕ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್, ವಾಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಬಾಡಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಅದು ಎಕೆನೋಡರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೆಲಿಡ್ಸಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಸೆಫಾಲೋಪೋಡ್ ಮೊಲಸ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಡೇಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ, ಮಿಸೋಗ್ಲಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ 1. A germinal layer present between ectoderm and endoderm. 2. An undifferentiated layer present between ectoderm and endoderm. 3. Another name of mesoderm. 4. Spongy layer of skin. ಯಾವುದು? ಮಿಸೋಗ್ಲಿಯಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ undifferentiated layer present between ectoderm and endoderm. 2. That is the right option. Okay. So in tibloblastic animals, the developing embryo has 2 germinal layers, external ectoderm and internal endoderm, correct? So mesoderm layer is not present between the ectoderm and the endoderm, but an undifferentiated jelly-like layer it is present in between them. So this undifferentiated layer of jelly, that is called as the mesoglia. It is called as the mesoglia. Next, coming to question number 6, the peculiarity of sponges is, sponges na peculiarity ಏನು, characteristic feature ಏನು? A, 1 canal system, 2 water vascular system, 3 central gastrovascular cavity, 4 bioluminescence. ನಾಲ್ಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು? The right option is answer 1. Canal system is peculiar property of the sponges. So this is nothing but the system of interconnected chambers which we have studied in the theory, and they have different interconnected chambers and canals and their openings, and water vascular system you can see in case of echinoderms, and the central gastrovascular cavity is the property of coelenterate, okay, that is cnidarians, and bioluminescence you can see in phylum Ctenophora. So those 3 are not right answer. Coming to question number 7, conocytes are present in 1 Physalia, 2 Cycon, 3 Pleurobrachia, 4 Echinus. So conocytes or collar cells which are present in phylum Porifera, and Cycon or Scypha belongs to marine sponge, belongs to phylum Porifera. So the right option is option 2. Physalia, it is belongs to Cnidaria or Coelenterata. Okay, Portuguese man of war. Then Pleurobrachia, which belongs to phylum Ctenophora, and Echinus, it is a sea urchin which belongs to phylum Echinodermata. So the right option is the option 2. Okay. So in sponges, the canal and spongocoel are internally lined. The spongocoel as well as the canals, they are internally lined by specialized cells. Those are called as conocytes or collar cells. So mark this conocytes or collar cells as one of the important concepts. Okay, one of the important concept anta mark ಮಾಡಿ. So students, we have completed 7 questions. Let's move to the question number 8. In poriferans, the skeleton is made up of 1 spongin fibers and spicules, 2 calcareous ossicles, 3 chitinous spicules, and 4 cartilage. This is the right answer. Skeleton is made up of 2 types of cells in case of poriferans. One is scleroblast, another one is spongioblast. So scleroblast are the cells which secretes the spicules, and the spongioblasts are the cells which secretes the spongin fibers. So right, in porifera, the skeleton is made up of 2 types of cells. How many types? 2 types of cells, remember. One is scleroblast and second one is spongioblast. This is already explained in theory. Scleroblast means they secretes spicules, and these secretes the spongin fibers. Okay, these are the spicules are secreted by scleroblast, and spongin fibers, they are secreted by the spongioblast. Now I have already told from which material these two are made up of, scleroblast and the spongin fibers. Scleroblasts secretes spicules and spongioblasts secretes spongin fibers. So these spongin fibers are, they are nothing but the proteins. What are these? Proteins. And these are mainly made up of calcium carbonate or silica. Calcium carbonate or silica. That you have to remember. Okay, we'll move to question number 9. Okay, now what is the option 4? Cartilage tells. Cartilage is a endoskeleton, isn't it? In especially in cartilaginous fishes and in some parts of our human body also. If you see tip of the nose, tip of the ear, okay, then vertebral, intervertebral column, and in between the joints you can see what? The cartilage, soft and elastic connective tissue. Cartilage is an example for soft and elastic connective tissue. Now they have given 2 and 3rd, there is calcareous ossicles and chitinous spicules. So calcareous ossicles. In calcareous sponges, with respect to this scleroblast, in calcareous sponges, andre which are made up of calcium carbonate, ee sponges nalli they are called as calcoblast. They are called as calcoblast. ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ಲಿರೋಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕೋಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕೇರಿಯಸ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದುವೇ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಲಿಷಿಯಸ್, ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಅದು ಸಿಲಿಕಾದಿಂದ ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದರೆ, ಇನ್ ಸಿಲಿಷಿಯಸ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಲಿರೋಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಸಿಲಿಕೋಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಸಿಲಿಕೋಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಸಿಲಿಕೋಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕೋಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್. Okay. So the right option is answer 1. In poriferans, the skeleton is made up of spongin fibers and spicules. Chitinous spicules alla. Chitin andre it is a different polysaccharide. Calcareous ossicles. Calcareous ossicles kuda alla. Calcareous ossicles you can see in case of Echinodermata. Calcareous ossicles you can see in case of Echinodermata. The animals of endoskeleton of Echinodermata, it is made up of calcareous and the calcium carbonate ಇಂದ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ossicles ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. That is why their name has Echinodermata, means they give them some spiny bodied appearance. Okay. We'll move to question number 9. Water enters the body of sponges through. Water enters the body of the sponges through A. Osculum, 2. Hypostome, 3. Muscular pharynx, 4. Ostia. So water enters through the openings called as ostia, that is fourth one is the right option, and expelled out through the osculum, another opening. Muscular pharynx, no, it is not there in sponges. Hypostome, hypo means below, epi means above, stoma means opening. Hypostome is the structure you can see in case of hydra, okay, an opening which is present, a structure which is present below the opening. This is the stoma, andre mouth opening. This is called as hypostome, a structure which is present beneath or below the stoma, it is called as hypostome. So the mouth, the stoma which is lies on the hypostome in case of hydra. Hydra is an example for Coelenterata, that is the structure. Okay, next we will move to the next question. For today it is the last question, that is question number 10. All of the following statements are correct for poriferans except ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಪೊರಿಫೆರನಲ್ಲಿ, ಆದರೆ ಒಂದು ರಾಂಗ್. ಯಾವುದು? Eggs and sperms are produced by the same individual. ಹೌದು. So they are called as hermaphrodites. They are generally marine and mostly asymmetrical animals. ಹೌದು, ಸಮುದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಬಾಡಿ is asymmetrical. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. Third, they reproduce sexually as well as asexually. Correct. Sexually production by formation of gametes and asexually production by fragmentation. Fourth one, they have an extracellular type of digestion. Adu wrong. They have intracellular type of digestion. Okay. So the foods are digested within the cells. ಇದೊಂದು ಸೆಲ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಫುಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅದರ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಫುಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಫುಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಯೂಲ್ನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ intracellular digestion takes place. So sponges have intracellular digestion as food is digested in the food vacuoles inside the cells, not outside the cells. In human, extracellular digestion outside the cell will take place within the tube alimentary canal. So there is no extracellular digestion in case of sponges. In case of Coelenterata or Cnidarians, there are both extracellular as well as intracellular digestion, right? Okay students, so we have completed around 60 questions in this particular chapter, Animal Kingdom. One more sessions I'll take. Let us see how many questions maximum we can cover, and rest you can you can take as a home assignment and practice those questions. So note down all the important points which are written on the board, students, and also take down my lecture notes. And thank you for watching the video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.